The Squirrel and the Snow. In the heart of a deep, frosty forest, as the days grew shorter and the cold winds howled, one small squirrel made a decision that would shape the course of her winter. While others scurried, frantic and anxious, this one squirrel, her coat a rich brown, her eyes bright with determination, set herself to a task, gathering enough food to survive the coming season. It began as autumn's colors bled into golds and browns. The trees towered above, their branches trembling under the touch of the crisp wind, shedding their leaves in a swirl of red and amber. The squirrel's tiny paws were nimble as she scurried from one tree to another, collecting acorns, nuts, and berries, filling her den with provisions that would last through the bitter months ahead. But not all the animals were so wise. A frantic rabbit dashed past, its fur ruffled in the wind, its eyes wide with worry. "There's no time! The snow is coming!" the rabbit cried. "We must search for food now, or we will freeze." The squirrel paused, glancing over at the rabbit as it disappeared into the forest, panic in its every step. The other animals, too, seemed to share the same fear. The chipmunk was busy rummaging in the underbrush, the birds fluttered in the sky, and the deer paced anxiously between the trees. All of them were looking, searching, with frantic eyes. But the squirrel, though she understood the urgency, wasn't afraid. She had seen the seasons change before. She had lived through countless winters, each one colder than the last, and she knew what needed to be done. While others rushed, she took her time. Every day, she worked tirelessly but calmly, storing nuts and berries in her den, ensuring that everything was perfectly prepared. She wasn't just preparing for survival, she was preparing for peace. As the days passed, the temperature dropped even more. The winds began to howl louder, the trees began to sway with more force, and then, finally, the first snowflakes began to fall. The soft, swirling white snow drifted down from the heavens, blanketing the forest floor in its quiet embrace. By the time the snow had thickened, covering every branch and bush, the squirrel had done what she needed to. Her den was full, her future secure. She nestled deep into her home, the warmth of her collected food surrounding her, and she sat back to watch the storm outside. The forest, once chaotic with frantic animals, had grown still. Meanwhile, the other animals were not so lucky. The rabbit, caught in the storm, found itself shivering, unable to find shelter. The birds, too, had nowhere to go, and the deer wandered the snow-covered fields, lost and confused. It was clear now, the frantic searching had left them unprepared, unable to find the peace that the squirrel had secured for herself. In the warmth of her den, the squirrel smiled softly. She had prepared with patience and foresight, knowing that the seasons would always come, whether she was ready or not. And when the snow fell, when the world grew quiet and still, she would be safe, resting through the winter with the quiet joy of knowing she had done what was needed. As the snowstorm raged outside, the squirrel curled up in her den, closing her eyes, listening to the peaceful silence that filled the world. The cold may have come, but she was ready for it. She had prepared, not with fear or panic, but with wisdom and patience. And in that moment, she was content. And so, as the long winter stretched on, the squirrel's world remained calm and peaceful, her cozy den a safe haven in the midst of the storm. And when the spring sun finally broke through the clouds, the squirrel would emerge, stronger and wiser for having weathered the cold, a testament to the power of preparation and patience. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help our channel grow.